Who is the biggest star in boxing? Tank Davis. And joining the beat of the game is Miami resident hip-hop star, influencer Ruby Rose.
Understand the talent difference, the experience difference. We understand all of that. But the size, the pure, and we understand small guys can beat big guys. We just saw Crawford do it to.
I thought it was 190. Dean, that's bad. Because you know what that tells me? That tells me that even he recognizes that he's too big for him. Yes. He recognizes that he's too big for him.
The uncut face-off between Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis on Netflix quickly became a viral moment. The tension in the room was electric as Tank suddenly shoved Jake during their intense stare-down, a clear sign that emotions are running high heading into fight night. Both men exchanged heated words, their faces showing a mix of confidence and frustration. Fans couldn't help but notice the stark size difference, with many commenting on how much smaller Davis appeared beside Jake. Still, plenty of others believe that size won't be the deciding factor, because when it comes to skill, timing, and fight IQ, Tank Davis is as dangerous as they come.
At the end of the day, I gave this little guy an opportunity. He should be thanking me. I'm paying him. I'm his boss. He reports to me, and I'm gonna fucking son him on November 14th. So fuck you, little man.
You pay me? Are you paying me?
Yeah.
100%? 100%. Facts?
Correct.
Yes? Correct?
Correct. I'm your daddy.
Veteran boxing trainer and commentator Teddy Atlas didn't hold back when breaking down the face-off between Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis. What stood out to him wasn't just the tension, it was the massive size difference. Atlas said Jake Paul looked like he was towering over Tank, even joking that Davis might need a ladder just to reach his chin. While Atlas has always emphasized that boxing is ultimately about skill, timing, and heart, he reminded fans that physical attributes still matter, especially when the gap is this extreme. He compared it to when Canelo Alvarez moved up to fight Terence Crawford, noting that even then, both fighters looked naturally matched. But in this case, he said the balance just isn't there. Atlas admitted that Tank's experience and explosive power can shock anyone. Yet against someone with Jake's size and strength, it's hard not to see this matchup as physically lopsided from the start.
He's right. They should also have like the size of the ring, the size of the glove, all that stuff. Particulars should be in the contract. But I would probably look for one thing that is not the common thing to have in a contract if I'm Tank. A ladder. A ladder. Can I get a ladder? Somebody? You know what I mean? Hey, look, all kidding aside, if he hits him on the chin the way he can punch, Jake might be doing a dance. You know what I mean? Not voluntarily either. But we'll get into that more later. The thing that I'm talking about right here is what you said. It was stark. The size difference was really, you couldn't ignore it. We understand the talent difference, the experience difference. We understand all of that. But the size, the pure, and we understand small guys can beat big guys. We just saw Crawford do it to Canelo, but you know, a little different. The size difference was, I mean, it was eye-catching, jaw-dropping, and it made me think. And I'm gonna ask Richie, our man here who's doing all the taping, who does such a marvelous job. I'm gonna ask him because I know he's an expert in this area. But it reminded me of one of the Rocky movies where they had the face, where they did the wrestling thing with Rocky and Hulk Hogan, AKA Thunderlips. He was Thunderlips back there. And I thought I had it right, and it was confirmed to me. It's Rocky.
Respected boxing coach Greg Hackett recently weighed in on Gervonta Davis's preparation, voicing strong confidence in Tank's mentality heading into the fight. Hackett explained that Davis isn't the type to get caught up in outside noise or the marketing buzz created by Jake Paul's camp. Tank knows exactly what he's after and how to get it, he said. Reports from inside the gym back that up, describing a fighter completely locked in, training with razor-sharp focus and zero distractions. Sparring partners have noted how intense his sessions have become. Faster pace, higher volume, and an almost relentless drive that's pushing him beyond his usual limits.
It's something for you new to do, try to keep you fresh and this and that, keep your name hot. You got to stay in the algorithms. It's just a lot of pressure on fights. And I feel like Tank being at, what is he, 30 years old? And you got kids. See, what people forget about is it come a time in a man's life where he just wants to slow down. You know what I'm saying? We can't all run around like we used to back in the day. I mean, that's tough to do. Sometimes you just want to sit down, enjoy your fruits. And I feel like that could be what he going through. He want to just enjoy the fruits of his labor and enjoy life. And people don't want to hear that because they feel like you got more work to do. But it's his life.
Observers at recent media appearances couldn't help but notice Tank's calm, collected demeanor. He looked locked in, focused but never flustered, a sign that he fully grasps what's at stake. For Gervonta Davis, this bout isn't just about fame or a big payday. It's about sending a message that no matter the stage or the spotlight, he can rise and perform like the elite fighter he's always been. A victory here could push his name into the mainstream spotlight, earning him the same level of attention usually reserved for viral stars, while reminding everyone that real talent and dedication still outweigh pure hype. Former heavyweight contender turned coach, Eddie Chambers offered a more measured take on the upcoming Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis clash. He reminded fans that boxing history is filled with smaller fighters toppling much larger opponents. Chambers explained that when people fixate on size, they often overlook the true deciding factors: timing, experience, and technique. He pointed to countless examples where discipline and ring IQ allowed underdogs to outthink and outmaneuver stronger foes. In his view, Jake's height and reach might serve him well in the opening rounds, but Davis's explosive movement and tactical sharpness could erase that advantage fast. Chambers emphasized that fights aren't decided by measurements, but by execution when the pressure peaks. And while Jake's physical edge is obvious, Tank's precision, speed, and killer instinct could still make him the most dangerous man in that ring.
Like this can happen, but this is social media, this is what it's created. There's a lane that Jake Paul has created. Honestly, I'm not mad at him for it. He's gotten a lot of fighters and, actual fighters some shine. It also has done for women's boxing a lot. So I'm not mad at him for what he's been in boxing, what he's created. This is a little crazy right here. This is a little crazy. And a lot of people will say, Tank is too small. Let me tell you something. Anybody that gets in the ring with Tank that is not a damn dinosaur is gonna feel something from it. And it ain't gonna be easy to hit it. Got boxing IQ. He may not sound like an intellectual guy when you hear him talk, but he knows the ring inside and out. So there's nothing that Jake Paul can do aside from make it extremely ugly by grabbing him and probably trying to throw him to the ground. I don't know what else, bite him. I don't know, but I mean, the skill level alone. Now, of course, there is a size difference, a height difference and all that, but he's just gonna struggle so much landing a shot. It's just gonna look bad. To me, this is the way I see it. It's gonna look bad. Tank is gonna be too fast. And the punch, I believe, I'm not saying it's gonna knock him out but he's gonna feel.
Former world champion turned analyst Timothy Bradley didn't hold back his opinion on the potential clash between Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul, calling it easy money for Tank. Bradley's confidence lies in the gulf of experience separating the two fighters. He noted that Davis has spent years facing elite-level competition, opponents who understand timing, distance, and the unforgiving pace of championship boxing, while Jake Paul is still new to that world, having only shared the ring with a handful of professionals, many of them past their prime or from other sports. Though Bradley gave Paul credit for his dedication and the spotlight he's brought to boxing, he emphasized that stepping in with Tank is a completely different challenge. With his ring IQ, composure, and instinctive precision, Davis operates on a level few can match. In Bradley's eyes, the fight would expose the gap between a lifelong fighter and an ambitious newcomer. And once the real punches start landing, that difference will become crystal clear.
You prove your innocence and say that it ain't fixed. Because check this out. Tank ain't gonna lose this fight. Hell no. Hell no. Tank ain't losing this fight. Too many holes. Man, Jake don't have enough experience. Yeah, man, it's gonna be taking candy from a baby. You know, Jake is missing the rules. See, this is what happens when you don't grow up in the game. When you don't grow up in the game, man, at a young age, this is what happens. You know, you start reading your own press clippings. That's what Jake is doing. You know, fighting this lower level competition, and now he think he them ish. Now he think he the man. He ain't the man. You kidding me? He is not the man. Oh no. Yeah, false sense of security. Now he trying to pick on small folks, right? You know, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Yeah, I'm just saying size-wise. Yeah, that's another thing, boxing one-on-one. You can't pay attention to size. Hell no, I told y'all it's the size of the heart, right? In that damn dog. It ain't the size of the damn dog, and I told y'all that, man. Yeah, it's the same thing here. And it's about the smartest dog. Tank too smart for him. Tank got too much boxing IQ for Jake, man. This gonna be easy. Easy. Like I said, man, Tank, please. Please, man. Don't do this to boxing, bro. If there's anything, man, shoot. Man, we can put together some kind of like account for you, a GoFundMe account or whatever, bro. And we can, all your fans can give you $1, bro. So that way you don't be blowing this fight. It's easy, bro. This sparring section. You know, look, I'm so confused. I don't know what the hell to call this. The circus? Just call it a circus. Yeah, just call it a damn circus. Because, you know, 1 minute they said,
Former world champion and boxing analyst. Paulie Malignaggi didn't hold back when discussing Gervonta Tank Davis. Malignaggi argued that Tank's career has been carefully managed and strategically protected, suggesting he's yet to prove himself against truly elite opposition. In his view, Davis's reputation has been built more on highlight reel knockouts and selective matchmaking than on taking genuine risks. His comments echo a larger debate in the boxing world, whether Tank has truly tested himself against the best in his division. Still, despite the criticism, Davis remains one of boxing's biggest attractions. Admired for his lightning-fast hands, precision, and explosive power, fans see him as one of the most electrifying finishers in the sport, while skeptics continue to question how far that talent can take him against top-tier opponents. Either way, Tank's name keeps the boxing world talking, and that alone proves his impact is undeniable.
He's trying to clown people, but then he admits that Tank is the biggest name in Western boxing. So doesn't even make sense. Listen again.
Boxing, either the fans have gone down to the dumbest level possible, or the media themselves have gone down to the dumbest level possible for
See, so he's already trying to roast the fans and anybody who says Tank's the face of boxing, basically calling people dumb, right? Oldest trick in the book. But then he says, I understand that Tank is probably the biggest name in the West.
Naming this guy as the face of boxing. I understand we don't have anything. The fact that
I understand we don't have anything. Keep listening.
Maybe this is the biggest marquee name in the West at the moment.
Right. Maybe this is the biggest marquee name at the moment in the West. He is the biggest name in the West. Name somebody bigger. Right? Point blank, period. So you're off to a bad start. Name calling. Then you're acting like you don't understand it whilst mentioning he's the biggest name in boxing, and you're saying it's disturbing. Why is it disturbing?
It's certainly disturbing, but it also shows you that you can make anything into a
and for ban on what you make. Again, there's nothing wrong with Tank going to get his money, but let's all be clear that that's all the fight is for Tank. He's telling you without telling you that he's fighting Jake just because he's getting $40 million. So when we talk about boxing being dead, Tank has to line up at the front of the line. I can't blame him, but don't throw around, oh, boxing's dead and people switch sides and all of that. You chose not to be great. That's it. You chose not to be great. Stuff like that, choices like that will kill boxing, for sure. On a competitive level, it won't kill it on a business level. On a business level, until people run out of interest in these kind of matchups, it'll do well. On a competitive level, choosing not to fight the best will kill the sport. So maybe it's better if people like Tank aren't in the sport. And I don't even say that because I want that to be the case. I think Tank is ridiculously talented, but you can't want a fighter to fight more than what they want to. You can't. Tank fans or Tank people that like Tank and think he's one of the best, you can't want it for him. And then Shakur came back with, that's how I know you soft. I can't even go back and forth with you soft ass. You'd rather pop to me on social media than get in that fire and get embarrassed. I get it. Peace and blessings upon you, cuz. He says, the people got your chest out so bad. You talking like you a killer, forgetting that you the one that runs, bitch. I'll be bring the fight to you. This dude, a made-up character. Quote, blessings upon you. Clown-ass dude, wanna be Kevin Gates? Oh my goodness. I mean, here's the thing though. You can't say that stuff about Shakur if you're not willing to fight him. This is the point I think that we're going to come to today, is that Tank can say all this stuff he wants, but if you're not willing to fight Shakur, then none of it means anything anymore. Even if you believe that Tank is going to knock him out, even if you believe that Shakur's a runner, or that he's not in the trenches, or he's not a boxer that's willing to bring the fight, or whatever, none of it matters. You're talking from the sideline.